Congress has no choice but to investigate the FTC data security scandal. Congress has a constitutional mandate and an obligation to its constituents to investigate the Federal Trade Commission in its latest security scandal. The FTC in this scandal shares the same consistent tone as their cousin agencies, including the IRS, DOJ and NSA. The foundation of all these scandals is the result of massive internal control failures, fueled by a corporate culture of non-transparency and immunity from civil discovery. The very things these agencies are employed to illuminate they use to hide the very dirty and illegal methods in which they execute their decisions, settlements, and prosecutions. This arbitrary behavior is so blatant that in the majority opinion of Chief Justice Robert in the Affordable Care Act stated federal power has more restrictions on it, he said, referring to the new limits on regulating commerce. Going forward, there may even be laws on the books that have to be re-examined. LabMD, the latest example, illustrates this point perfectly. Established in 1996, LabMD specializes in analysis and diagnosis of blood, urine, and tissue specimens for cancers, microorganisms and tumor markers. The FTC swooped down with no justifiable reason and conducted a 4-year invasive and debilitating investigation about their patient data security. Due to the actions of the FTC, LabMD can no longer accept new specimens. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has domain over patient data security. Without any codified federal regulation or oversight, the FTC has spent 4 years and millions of taxpayer dollars coordinating the execution of a cancer research company for data standards with which the HHS had no issues. The FTC has no dog in this fight and yet is trying to leash anyone who does. The United States Constitution and more recently Chief Justice Roberts in his majority opinion on the ACA has held that Article 11 of the Commerce Code in essence is the foundation of the American dream. With such powerful support from the judicial branch, why has Congress allowed rogue government agents and negligent government agencies arbitrarily kill tax-paying and employing companies that have not violated a law? For such companies to be targeted without any internal controls to curb third-party agenda and corruption leaves the American dream at risk as well as any continued economic recovery. The harassment must end. Someone needs to look into what happens in agencies such as the FTC security scandal and demand justification on behalf of the American people and indeed global consumers and partners in our markets. Wrongs must be righted and transparent business and enforcement procedures established. If Congress chooses not to act on passing sweeping transparency legislation in government, holding the actors and agencies of this egregious behavior accountable for their actions, I predict come November the American people will vote everyone in the House of Representatives out as an across-the-board protest of inaction.